Hello, everybody. Yoko Double 007 here, bringing you another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. In today's game, we've got the 12-13 Atlanta Braves taking on the 8-18 Washington Nationals. This is game one of a two-game series between the Braves and the Nationals. Classic NL East matchup. Who is going to take the first game? Will it be the Braves? Will it be the Nats? We're going to find out in 9 innings time. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Atlanta Braves. Leading off, the second baseman, Kelly Johnson. Batting second, the shortstop, Yunel Escobar. Batting third, the third baseman, Chipper Jones. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the first baseman, Mark Teixeira. Batting fifth, the catcher, Brian McCann. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Jeff Francoeur. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Mark Koste. Batting eighth, the left fielder, Matt Diaz. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Tom Gavin. On the mound for the Nationals, it is Tim Redding. He'll come in today's game with a starting ERA of a 10.40. He's got no wins and 2 losses. He's pitched 17 1/3 of an inning, allowed 28 hits, 16 strikeouts, and 7 walks. We're here at Nationals Park, which gives a -2 to strikeouts, but a +2 to walks, and nothing to home runs. And with that, we are ready for the first pitch as Kelly Johnson makes his way up into the batter's box. Home plate umpire dusts it off, and we are ready for the first pitch. And that is going to be a 1-5, column 1, row 5. That is a blank. Now, we consider that a blank right now because Tim Redding has not faced his allotted number of batters. He can face 24 before he is considered tired. So that is a blank. And that will be a 5-2, column 5, row 2. It is a double into center field past Harris. And it's a one-hopper off the wall. Harris will throw it to Guzman. And Johnson will go to second and he'll be safe. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the Washington Nationals. We've got Mo Pena out there in left field. Harris will be in center. Kearns will be in right. Going around the horn, we've got Zimmerman on third. Guzman will be at short. Lopez will be on second. Johnson will be at first. And Estrada will be behind the plate with Redding on the mound. Escobar batting a 361. Strategy roll is an 11 with a runner on base. We roll for strategy. The Braves are going to stand pat, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 3-2. Column 3, row 2, that is a blank. And that'll be a 6-5. Column 6, row 5. And that is a base hit past the third baseman, past Zimmerman. Johnson will go to third. Escobar will go to first. We'll see if Johnson picks up the extra base. He'll go from second to home on a base run rating of a 4-6. That is a 3, and we've got runners on the corners. He will hold. Chipper Jones batting a 358, no outs, runners on the corners. Strategy roll is a 5, and the infield is playing in. And when the infield plays in, the range is a -2, and the base run rating on third gets a -2. Here is the pitch. And that'll be a 1-5, column 1, row 5. That is a blank. And that'll be a 3-1, column 3, row 1, double star 5. That is a fly ball back there to Kearns. Kearns will make the catch. And we'll check to see for the sacrifice play. Sacrifice rating is a 3. Now, how that works is we'll take 1d6 and roll it, and if it's less than the SF rating of the batter plus the MOD, the runner scores. So on F9, the MOD rating is a +1. That makes it a 3. We roll 1d6. That is a 1. It's in range. Johnson will tag up. He'll score. Carnes throws it to Lopez to hold Escobar. And that'll put 1 away. So with that, Johnson scores on the sac fly. And with that, that'll bring up Mark Teixeira. 1 out. Infield now at double play depth. And on double play depth, the range is a -1. Ground double play rating gets a +1. And the base run rating on third gets a -1. Strategy roll is a 16. 1 out. Runners on first. Teixeira batting a 222. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 5-2, column 5, row 2. Now, that is a split result. Teixeira is a switch hitter, so he is batting left. We're going to look to the left-handed side of that slash, and that is going to be a walk plus. Now, on a walk plus, we add 10 to that range, plus the modifier for the ballpark. So in this case, we're adding 2, so we add 12 to the walk range. That makes it a 1-24. That is a 7, and that'll be good for a walk. So with runners on first and second, strategy roll is a 15. That's going to bring up Brian McCann. McCann batting a 244. Infield still at double play depth with 1 out. Runners on first and second, and here is the pitch. And that will be a 5-2, column 5, row 2. That is a walk plus. On a 1-22, that is a 14, and that is good for a walk. So the bases are loaded, and they're going to take a quick timeout here in the top of the first. They're going to go speak to Redding and find out what's going on. All right, and the umpire calls them all back. And Jeff Francoeur batting a 271. Strategy roll is an 11, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 4-6, column 4, row 6. That is a blank. And that'll be a 3-3, column 3, row 3. Fly ball back there to Penna. He'll make the catch. That is an out. Now we'll check to see for the sacrifice rating. That is a 2. The die roll is a 1. Remember, we'll add a +1 to the MOD rating. So that's where we get the 2. And that is in range. So on a sac fly by Jeff Francoeur, that is going to score another run, and the Braves are up 2-0. And with that, Mark Coste batting a 250, 2 outs, and with 2 outs and runners on base, we do add a +1 to the base run rating. Strategy roll is a 9. The Braves are going to stand pat. And that'll be a 2-2. Column 2, row 2. Home run chance on a 1. That is a 1. It is in range. It needs to be a 6 or less. That's a 15. Nothing happens there. So we take a look here at the dice. It's 2-1. 1-2, sorry. Column 1, row 2. It's a split result off of the batter card. Now, split results off the batter card, you're going to take a look at the pitcher card and see if the pitcher is left or right-handed. In this case, Tim Redding is a right-handed pitcher. So we're going to look to the right-handed side of the slash, and that is a base hit past second base. Teixeira will go to third. Is he waved around? He'll go from second to home on a 3 through 6. That is a 3. Teixeira will score. McCann on second. He'll go from first to third on a 3 to 6. That is a 2, and McCann will hold. And that'll bring up Matt Diaz, batting a 192. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Strategy rolls a 1. And the Braves are going to stand pat. 6-3, column 6, row 3. That is a strikeout. On a 1 to 15, that is a 9. Struck him out. So struck him out, and that will retire the side. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and the Braves will leave 2 stranded. We go to the bottom of the first, and here is the starting lineup for the Washington Nationals. Leading off the second baseman, Felipe Lopez. Batting second, the shortstop, Christian Guzman. Batting third, the third baseman, Ryan Zimmerman. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the first baseman, Nick Johnson. Batting fifth, the center fielder, Willie Harris. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Austin Kearns. Batting seventh, the catcher, Johnny Estrada. Batting eighth, the left fielder, Willie Mo Pena. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Tim Redding. On the mound for the Braves, it is Tom Gavin. Gavin will come into the game with a 3.36 ERA. No wins and no losses. He's pitched 10 2/3 of an inning, allowed 6 hits, 13 hits, 6 strikeouts, and 8 walks. And with that, Felipe Lopez batting a 221, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 4-5, column 4, row 5. It's a range play. Now, on a range play, we do check the first number of the defense, of the position of the defense. And whose range are we checking? And that'll be a 3-6. Column 3, row 6, it's a ground ball to Johnson. His range is a 1 to 3. It's a 5, so it's outside of the range for Johnson. He'll make the he won't be able to make the hit there, and that'll be good for a base hit. So Lopez will lead off with a base hit. All right, let's take a look at the starting defense for the Atlanta Braves. We've got Diaz out there in left field. Coste will be in center. Francoeur will be in right. Going around the horn, we've got Jones on third. Escobar will be at short. Johnson on second. Teixeira will be on first. McCann will be behind the plate. And Gavin will be on the mound. No outs, runner on first. Strategy roll is a 14 as Christian Guzman will step up to the plate. He's batting a 312, and the Nationals are going to stand pat infield at double play depth. And that'll be a 3-3, column 3, row 3. Home run on a 1 to 13. The 5 is in range. Now, Guzman needs to roll a 7 or less. It's a 19, nothing happens there. 6-1, column 6, row 1, double star 5. It's a ground ball to Escobar. He'll make the catch. And let's take a look. We will check for double play rating. The pivot when balls are hit to the shortstop. It will be the second base. So Johnson will be the pivot. That is a 0 there. Ground double play rating is a 3. The die roll is a 6 end. The rule says if the roll of a 6, the play is at first only. So Lopez will go to second. 1 out and a runner on second, and that's going to bring up Ryan Zimmerman. Zimmerman batting a 425. Strategy roll is an 18 with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 6-4, column 6, row 4. That is a walk. On a 1 to 8, the 15 is too high. And that'll be a 2-1, column 2, row 1. It's a double out there into left field. Lopez will score. Zimmerman will take second. Diaz will throw that back into Escobar. He'll hold Zimmerman at second. So Zimmerman with the RBI double. That's going to bring up Nick Johnson, who's batting at 274. Strategy roll is a 5. Nationals are going to stand pat, and here is the pitch. And that'd be a 3-5, column 3, row 5. Range play at the ballpark. So if you roll the at symbol as your result, you will resolve the play using the ballpark card. So in this case, we're going to resolve this play using the Nationals Park ballpark card. And that is going to be a 6-4, column 6, row 4. That's a single plus 8 to Kostay. His range is a 1. That is a 3. Kostay can't make the catch. It's going to be good for a base hit. 1 run will score. And let's take a look. Does Johnson get the extra base here? On an S plus 8, all runners will advance 2 bases regardless. And we roll 1d6 if the roll is less than or equal to the ABR. The batter is safe with a double. Roll higher than the ABR, the batter holds with a single. That is a 2. The ABR rating is a 1. And with that, Johnson will hold. So the Nationals are down by 1 here in the bottom of the first. Johnson is on first. Infield goes to double play depth. Willie Harris batting a 219. And that'll be a 3-1, column 3, row 1. That is a strikeout. On a 1-9, that is a 9. Struck him out. Struck him out, and that'll bring up Austin Kearns. Kearns betting all the 2s. He's betting a 222. Strategy roll is a 12. The Nationals are going to stand pat, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 4-4. Column 4, row 4. That is a strikeout. On a 1-8, that is an 8. Struck him out. So 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and the Nationals will leave 1 stranded. After 1, it's Braves 3, Nationals 2. We go to the top of the second. It's going to be Tom Gavin, Kelly Johnson, and Yuno Escobar due up for the Braves. Tom Gavin, 3 games, he's batting a 333 average. And that'll be a 4-2, column 4, row 2. That is a home run. On a 0, the 13 is too high. And that'll be a 2-1, column 2, row 1, double star 3. Fly ball back there to Harris. He'll get underneath it. Makes the catch and puts 1 away. We go to the top of the order. Kelly Johnson, 1 for 1 today with a double and a run scored. And that'll be a 5-6, column 5, row 6. That is a strikeout on a 1-10. The 13 is too high. And that'll be a 2-3, column 2, row 3. That will be, let's see, Redding is a right-handed pitcher, so we're going to look to the right-handed side of the slash. It's a ground ball to second base, so Lopez will get it. And tosses that underhand to Johnson for out number 2. Yuno Escobar, 1 for 1 with a run, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 3-5, column 3, row 5. That is a walk. On a 1-16, that is a 5 in range, and that'll be good for a walk. Strategy roll is a 15, and that's going to bring up Chipper Jones. He's 0 for 0, does have the RBI. Runner on first with 2 outs, infield at normal depth. Strategy roll, by the way, is a 15, and here is the pitch. And that'd be a 5-1, column 5, row 1. That is a blank. And that'd be a 3-5, column 3, row 5. That would be good for a base hit down past the third baseline. And with that, Escobar will go to second. Does he pick up third? He'll go from first to third on a base run rating of a 6. That is a 4. He will hold. Next up, it's going to be Mark Teixeira. Teixeira with a walk and a run scored. Strategy roll is a 3, and here is the pitch. And that'd be a 5-4, column 5, row 4. It's a range play. Whose range are we checking? And that'd be a 1-4, column 1, row 4. Fly ball back there to Harris. His range is on a 1-3. Harris goes back, sees it. Pettit comes over. Harris waves him off, says that he's got it. Gets it, makes the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Braves will leave 2 stranded. We go to the bottom of the second. It is Johnny Estrada, Willie Mopeda, and Tim Redding due up for the Nationals. Johnny Estrada batting a 138. And that'll be a 2-3. Column 2, row 3 at the ballpark. And that'll be a 3-5. Column 3, row 5. Fly ball back there to Costa. He'll make the catch. And puts one away. Willie Mopena batting a 267. And that'll be a 1-1. Column 1, row 1. That is a strikeout on a 1-9. The 12 is too high. And that'll be a 1-4, column 1, row 4. Fly ball back there to Diaz. Gets underneath it. And that'll put 2 away. Tim Redding up. Redding, no average just yet. It is 6 plate appearances. And that'll be a 2-6, column 2, row 6. Possible error on a throw. And that'll be a 5-6, column 5, row 6. It's a base hit. Error range for Costa, throwing only applicable if rolling for runner advancement, otherwise no error. So no error on Costa. And with that, Redding is on with a base hit. We go to the top of the order. Felipe Lopez 1-for-1 with a run scored. Runner on first. Strategy roll was a 5, and here is the pitch. And that'd be a 6-6. Column 6, row 6. That is a walk plus on a 1-18. That is at 18. It is in range, and he'll walk on with a full count. So runners on first and second. Christian Guzman 0-for-1. Strategy roll 17, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 1-6, column 1, row 6. Home run on a 1-7. The 19 is too high. And that'll be a 1-4, column 1, row 4. Ground ball to the shortstop. Escobar will make the catch there. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, and no errors, and 2 left on for the Nationals. After 2, it's Braves 3, Nationals 2. We go to the top of the third. Brian McCann, Jeff Francoeur, and Mark Costa due up for the Braves. Brian McCann walked his last time up, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 3-3, column 3, row 3. That is a strikeout. On a 1 to 5, the 6 is too high. And that'll be a 2-5, column 2, row 5. Line drive down the third baseline. Zimmerman will get it, throws it over to Johnson. And that'll be out number 1. Jeff Francoeur with an RBI, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 6-3, column 6, row 3. That is a strikeout. On a 1 to 7, the 12 is too high. And that'll be a 1-5, column 1, row 5. Ground ball to the shortstop. Zimmerman will get that. Makes the second out there. Mark Coste, 1 for 1 with an RBI, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 5-1. Column 5, row 1, that is a blank. And that'll be a 2-5, column 2, row 5, double star 3. Fly ball back there to Harris. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors as the Nationals retire the Braves. In order, we go to the bottom of the third. Ryan Zimmerman, Nick Johnson, and Willie Harris due up for the Nats. Ryan Zimmerman, 1 for 1 today with a double, a run, and an RBI. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 5-2, column 5, row 2. Double question mark. Now, double question mark off of the pitcher card. That is the only thing we follow right now. And that is a double star on a 1 to 8. The 12 is too high. And that'll be a 2-2. Column 2, row 2. Fly ball back there to Coste. He'll get underneath it. Makes the catch and puts one away. Nick Johnson, 1 for 1 with an RBI. Johnson, 2-2. Column 2, row 2. That is a blank. And that'll be a 1-3. Column 1, row 3. Double star 3. Fly ball back there to Francoeur. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 2 away. Willie Harris, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Struck out his last time up at bat. And that'll be a 6-4. Column 6, row 4. That is a walk. On a 1 to 14, that is a 5. And that'll be good for a walk. And that keeps the inning alive, keeps the inning going for the Nationals. Strategy roll 3, it's a steal attempt. Let's see. Harris is left. That is a 0. That makes it a 17. They're going to send him. It's a 16, actually. And that'll be good. An 8. So, on a roll for that, it's the stolen base rating, runner's stolen base rating, plus the pitcher's stolen base rating, plus the catcher's arm. On that makes it a 16. And the 8 is in range on a 3 to 19. If the roll is less than or equal to the stolen base rating, then safe. If it was higher, he would have been out. So with that, Harris will take second. Kearns, 0 for 1, struck out his last time up. And that'll be a 4-3, column 4, row 3. That is a strikeout. On a 1 to 8, the 7 is in range. Struck him out. Struck him out, and that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, and the Nationals will leave 1 stranded. After 3, it's Braves 3, Nationals 2. We go to the top of the 4th. Matt Diaz, Tom Gavin, and Kelly Johnson due up for the Braves. Matt Diaz, 0 for 1 and struck out his last time up at bat. And that'll be a 3-4, column 3, row 4. That is a strikeout on a 1 to 15. That is a 3. Struck him out. Tom Gavin, 0 for 1. And that'll be a 1-3, column 1, row 3, range play at the ballpark. And that'll be a 4-6, column 4, row 6. And that'll be a ground ball to the third baseman, to Zimmerman. He'll make the catch. Well, we'll check for his range. It's on a 1-3. That is a 6. And that is good for a double. And Gavin with a big double. Zimmerman 3 for 6 on his range play as we go to the top of the order. 1 out, runner on second. Strategy roll is a 7. Kelly Johnson 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. 2-3, column 2, row 3. That is a blank. And that'll be a 2-1, column 2, row 1. Ground ball to Lopez. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. Gavin will advance on balls hit to first, second, or the catcher. In this case, it was hit to second base. So Gavin will go to third. And that'll put 2 away. Escobar, 1 for 1 today with a walk and a run. Strategy rolls a 1. Braves are going to stand pat, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 2-5, column 2, row 5. That is a strikeout. On a 1-5, the 11 is too high. And that'll be a 4-4, column 4, row 4. Fly ball back there to Harris. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Braves will leave 1 stranded. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Johnny Estrada, Willie Mo Pena, and Tim Redding due up for the Nats. Estrada, 0 for 1 today. And that'll be a 6-2, column 6, row 2. It's a range play. And whose range are we checking? That'll be a 2-2. It's going to be a ground ball to Teixeira. His range is on a 1-4. It's a 2. Teixeira will make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. Teixeira is 4 for 7 on his range plays. Willie Mo Pena is 0 for 1. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 5-1, column 5, row 1. That is a blank. And that'll be a 3-2, column 3, row 2. It's a base hit out there into left field. Smacks a small little blooper. And with that, Pena will get on with a base hit. Strategy rolls a 17. Tim Redding 1 for 1 today. 17, that is going to be a sacrifice play on a butt rating of a 2. And here's how we get that. We take a look at the butt rating here for Tim Redding. It is a 2. So on a butt rating of a 2, if the strategy die falls between a 2 and a 17, a 12 and a 17, it becomes a bunt, and they are going to sacrifice. It's going to be a sac play. And that'll be a 1-2, column 1, row 2. Possible error on a ground ball. And with that, it is a successful sac bunt. So we're going to roll. It's going to be a bunt to the catcher. So McCunn's going to make the play there. We roll 1d6 on the bunt rating chart here. And I have a bunt rating of a 1 on a 1-2. On a 1-12, the 8 is in range. So that is going to be a good sac bunt. And that'll get Pena over to second. So 2 outs, runner on second, and we go to the top of the order. Felipe Lopez 1 for 1 today with a run and a walk. Strategy rolls a 4, and here is the pitch. And that'd be a 5-4, column 5, row 4. Lopez is a switch hitter, so he's batting right. And we take a look here at the right. It is a double star. Now, double star in the physical game, if you are playing the tabletop version, you'll take 1d6, roll it against the auto outline, also known as the double star line, and that'll tell you the out. We're playing the PC version, so that is going to randomly choose it. Whoop, we don't want that, we want that. And that'll be a fly ball out there to left to right field. Franco will get underneath it. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Nats will leave 1 stranded. After 4, it is Braves 3, Nats 2. We go to the top of the 5th. Chipper Jones, Mark Teixeira, and Brian McCann due up for the Braves. Chipper Jones 1 for 1 with an RBI. And that'll be a 4-1, column 4, row 1. That is a blank. And that'll be a 6-2, column 6, row 2. It's going to be a base hit out there into right field. And with that, Chipper Jones will lead off with a base hit. Mark Teixeira 0 for 1 with a walk and a run. Strategy roll is a 12, and here is the pitch. And that'd be a 6-6, column 6, row 6. That is a walk. On a 1 to 14, the 18 is too high. And that'd be a 5-4, column 5, row 4, double star 5. And that's going to be a fly ball back there to Carnes. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. Brian McCann is 0 for 1 with a walk. And that'd be a 4-1, a 1-4, sorry. Column 1, row 4 at the ballpark. We're going to go to Nationals Park for this one, and that'd be a 5-5. Column 5, row 5, ground ball to second base to Lopez. He'll make the catch. We will check for double play on balls hit to G4. With him being a left-handed batter, the pivot will be the shortstop. So we'll take a look. That is a 4 for the double play rating. Guzman is a 0. 1 on the D6. It is in range. It is a 4-6-3 double play. And they turn the double play to get out of the inning there. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. And none left on. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Christian Guzman, Ryan Zimmerman, and Nick Johnson due up for the Nationals. And with that, we take a look here at Tom Gavin. He can face 3 more batters before he is considered tired. The bullpen for the Nats starting to warm up. And that'll be a 5-3, column 5, row 3. That is a blank. And that'll be a 6-4, column 6, row 4. Double star 4. It's going to be a ground ball down the third baseline to Jones. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. Ryan Zimmerman 1 for 2 with a double, a run, and an RBI. And that'll be a 4-4, column 4, row 4, strikeout. On a 1 to 3, the 15 is too high. And that'll be a 1-1, column 1, row 1, fly ball back there to Diaz. He gets underneath it, calls off Coste. Puts 2 away. Nick Johnson, 2 for 1 with an RBI. And that'll be a 1-4, column 1, row 4. That is a strikeout. On a 1 to 8, the 4 in range struck him out. So So the Braves retire the Nats in order. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, and no errors, and none left on. Very easy inning to score there. After 5, it's Braves 3, Nats 2. We go to the top of the 6th. It's going to be Jeff Francoeur, Mark Coste, and Matt Diaz due up for the Braves. And with that, we do have a new pitcher on the mound for the Nats. Tim Redding is done. Even though he can face one more batter, they are not going to chance it there. And they are going to bring in Steve Schnell. Steve Schnell will come in to the game. Schnell comes into the game with a 3.70 ERA. Does have a special K rating. No wins and no losses. He's pitched 7 1/3 of an inning, allowed 7 hits, 8 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Taking a look here at the stats for Tim Redding, he went 6 innings, allowed 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, an ERA of a 9.28. Now, Schnell does have a special K rating, but we will talk about that when it comes into play. Jeff Francoeur, 0 for 1 with an RBI, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 6-2. Column 6, row 2. Home run chance on a 1 to 11. The 16 is too high. And that is a 1. It is a we take a look first at the special K rating. On a 1 to 5, that is a 1. Struck him out. Struck him out. Now, the blue die needed to be higher than the special K rating in order for it to clear that. So 1 away, and that's going to bring up Mark Coste, who is 1 for 2 with an RBI. And that'll be a 6-4, column 6, row 4. That is a walk. On a 1 to 10, the 1 is in range, and that'll be good for a walk. And that'll put a runner on. Infield at double play depth. Strategy roll is a 20. And on a 20, it is a pickoff attempt. So anytime you roll a 20 on the strategy die, it's an automatic pickoff attempt. Schnell doesn't pick anyone off, but we still show that number off. That would have been a 9. And that'll be a 5-1, column 5, row 1, double star, fly ball back there. Penna sees it. Guzman coming out there to help him. Harris also comes over. And that'll put 2 away. Tom Gavin. Gavin is not good. Gavin will take the hit here. Let me check something here. No, Gavin will not take the hit here. So Gavin not going to take the hit, and they're going to bring in Brian Penna. Penna will come in to pinch hit. And that'll be a 1-3, column 1, row 3. Possible error on a ground ball. And on a 1 to 4, the 13 outside of the range there for the special K. 4-1, column 4, row 1, ground ball to Lopez. And Lopez's error range is on a 1 to 7. That is a 7. It's an error. And it's a 1-base error. And with that, Coste will go to third. Two outs, runners on first and second. And we go to Kelly Johnson. 1 for 3 today with a double and a run scored. Strategy roll is a 10. And that'll be a 6-3, column 6, row 3. That is a blank. And that'll be on a 1 to 4, 17, not in range for the special K, 3-5. Column 3, row 5, ground ball to first base. Johnson will make the catch there. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and 1 error for the for the Braves. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Willie Harris, Austin Kearns, and Johnny Estrada due up. And we will go to the bullpen for the Braves as well. And with that, they are going to bring in they're going to bring in Chris Resop. I haven't seen him in a while. So Chris Resop gets the call up. No wins and no losses, no ERA. He's pitched 3 innings, allowed 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, and a walk. Taking a look here at the stats for Tim, he went 5 innings, allowed 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, an ERA of a 3.44. Willie Harris is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout here in the bottom of the 6th. Nationals down by 1, and that'll be a 4-3, column 4, row 3. That is a walk. On a 1 to 15, the 3 is in range. And with that, Harris will get on with a walk. Strategy roll is a 5, and that becomes a hit and run attempt. So on a hit and run, all ground double play ratings get a -2. Base run ratings get a +2. Home run and walk rates for the batter are cut in half. We round those down. Lineouts are considered double plays with the exception of an error on a throw. And if the batter strikes out, we'll resolve the play as a steal. Austin Kearns is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Kearns is going to take the hit here. And that'll be a 3-4. Column 3, row 4, strikeout on a 1 to 8. The 19 is too high. And that'll be a 4-3. Column 4, row 3, fly ball back there to Coste. And that'll be out number 1. Hit and run again. Strategy roll is a 5. That's a hit and run. And the infield is at double play depth. And here comes Johnny Estrada. 0 for 2 today. And that'll be a 5-3. Column 5, row 3, walk plus. On a 1 to 18, the 14 is in range, and that'll be good for a walk. So with that, runners on first and second, and that's going to bring up Willie Mo Pena, who is 1 for 2 today. Infield still at double play depth with 1 out. Runners on first and second. And that'll be a 3-5. Column 3, row 5, strikeout. On a 1 to 13, the 18 is too high. And that'll be a 4-2. Column 4, row 2, ground ball to Jones. He'll make the catch. It's hit in the hole. Double play from second to first. And we will check that. Double play rating with that. It is a 6. However, the play is only at first. The ground double play rating is a 2. The die roll is a 5. So no double play there. And with 2 outs, we go to Steve Schnell. Schnell not going to take the hit here. And instead, they're going to bring in Ronnie Bellard. Ronnie Bellard going to come in to take the hit. Bellard betting a 441. Strategy roll is a 3. And that'll be a 6-5. Column 6, row 5. That is a walk plus on a 1 to 24. The 14 is in range. Remember, we add 12 to that walk range. That's where we're getting the 24 from. And that'll load the bases up. 2 outs, bases are loaded. We go to the top of the order. Chris Resop tired now. Lopez is 1 for 2 with a walk and a run. And that'll be a 1-6, column 1, row 6. Strikeout on a 1 to 7. The 17, too high. And that'll be a 6-4, 4-6, column 4, row 6. And that is a base hit past Jones. And the Nationals have tied this game up. Estrada on third. Is he waved around? He'll go from second to home on a 4 to 6. That is a 2 he will hold. And with that, Resop, they're going to give him one more batter. Christian Guzman up. He's 0 for 3. The pitch to Guzman. And that'll be a 2-1, column 2, row 1. Home run on a 1 to 4. The 20 is too high. And that'll be a 4-1, column 4, row 1. Pop up. Johnson underneath it. Makes the catch. And that will retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. And the Nationals leave them loaded. After 6, we're tied at 3. We go to the top of the 7th. Escobar, Chipper Jones, and Mark Teixeira due up for the Braves. And with that, we do have a new pitcher on the mound for the Nats. And that is going to be they're going to bring in Luis. Yep. So Luis Alia is going to get the call up here in the top of the 7th. He comes into the game with a 5.84 ERA. No wins and 1 loss. He's pitched 7 2/3 of an inning, allowed 11 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Taking a look here at the stats for Steve Schnell. Went 1 inning, allowed 1 walk, 1 strikeout, an ERA of a 3.25. Escobar is 1 for 2 with a walk and a run, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 4-5. Column 4, row 5, that is a blank. And that'll be a 4-2, column 4, row 2. And that'll be a base hit to Guzman on that one. So Escobar will get on with a base hit. Chipper Jones is 2 for 2 today with an RBI, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 2-2, column 2, row 2, strikeout on a 1 to 6. That is a 1. Struck him out. And that'll put 1 away. Mark Teixeira 0 for 2 with a walk and a run. Strategy roll 19. The Braves are going to stand pat. And that'll be a 4-1, column 4, row 1. That is a walk. On a 1 to 14, the 3 is in range, and that'll be good for a walk. So runners on first and second. Brian McCann 0 for 2 today with a walk. Strategy roll 15. Braves are going to stand pat. Infield at double play depth, that'd be a 5-6. Column 5, row 6, blank. And that'd be a 2-6. Column 2, row 6. And that'd be good for a base hit out there into center field. Escobar on third. We'll take a look here. We'll see, does he advance to home? He'll go from second to home on a +1 to the base run rating, so we'll have a 5. We're going to roll to check for runner advancement. On a 2 through 5, if the roll is less than or equal to the ABR, then the runner will advance. Otherwise, they hold. The red die is a 4, the base run rating is a 5, and the Braves will take a 1-run lead. Teixeira, base run rating is a 1, the die roll is a 4, and Teixeira will hold. And with that, Lewis is tired. However, they are going to give him one more batter. Jeff Francoeur is up. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and an RBI. Strategy roll is a 16. It's an RBI single by Brian McCann, and that'll be a 5-4. Column 5, row 4. That is a blank. And that'll be a 1-3. Column 1, row 3. Fly ball back there to Kearns. He'll make the catch. Makes the out. Teixeira on second. We subtract 0 from the base run rating. And that is a 1. The die roll is a 1. The base run rating is a 2. And the rule says if 1d6 less than or equal to the adjusted base run rating, the runner will advance to third. Otherwise, he'll hold. 1 is less than the 2, so he will advance. Runners are on the corners, and here comes Mark Coste, who is 1 for 2 today with a walk and an RBI. And that'll be a 5-1, column 5, row 1. Wild pitch on a 1-2. It's a passed ball. It's a 9. Nothing happens. And that'll be a 2-3, column 2, row 3. It's going to be a single to Kearns. And with that, it's an RBI single for Coste, and the Braves take a 2-run lead. And all of the other, and that's 6, and it says all other runners hold. Matt Diaz 0 for 3, and they're going to pull Lewis. Lewis is going to come out of the game, and they are going with Garrett Mock. Garrett Mock going to come in. Mock, no ERA. He's pitched 10 innings, allowed 8 hits, 8 strikeouts, and 5 walks. They're going to try to get the last out here. However, Lewis responsible for Brian and Mark on the mound. Let's take a quick look here at his stats. He went 2/3 of an inning, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout, an ERA of a 7.59. Diaz 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, and that'd be a 5-3, column 5, row 3, walk plus. On a 1-16, the 15 is in range. And that'll load the bases. Chris Resop, not going to take the hit here. And they are going to bring in Jorge Blanco. Blanco going to take the hit, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 4-2, column 4, row 2, strikeout on a 1-9, the 7 in range, struck him out. Struck him out, and that will retire the side and sing. Take me out to the ball game. So the Nationals get out of that jam. 2 runs, 3 hits, and no errors, and 2 left on. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Ryan Zimmerman, Nick Johnson, and Willie Harris due up for the Nationals. We do have a new pitcher on the mound, and they are going to bring in Royce Ring. Yep, Royce Ring will get the call up here. No ERA for him. No ERA from no wins and no losses. He's pitched 5 2/3 of an inning, allowed 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Let's take a look at the box score after 6.5 have been played here at Nationals Park. Braves came out strong, scoring 3 runs in the first inning, picked up 2 runs in the top of the 7th. It's 5 runs on 9 hits and no errors. The Nationals, 2 runs in the first, a run in the 6th. It's 3 runs on 6 hits, and they've committed 1 error in this game. So the Nationals are down by 2. Ryan Zimmerman, 1 for 3 today with a double, a run, and an RBI. Let's take a look at the stats here for Chris Resop. He went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, 3 walks, an ERA of a 2.25. Here is the pitch to Zimmerman. And that'll be a 2-4, column 2, row 4 at the ballpark. And that'll be a 5-5, column 5, row 5, ground ball to Johnson. He'll make the catch there. Throws it over to Teixeira. Tags the basin, puts 1 away. Nick Johnson, 1 for 3 with a strikeout and an RBI. And that'll be a 1-2, column 1, row 2, strikeout. On a 1-8, that is a 5. Struck him out. And 2 away. Willie Harris, 0 for 2 today with a walk, a strikeout, and a run. And that'll be a 2-6, column 2, row 6, strikeout, plus on a 1-19. That's a 19. Struck him out. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors as the Braves retire the Nats in order after 7. It's Braves 3, Braves 5, Nationals 3. We go to the top of the 8th, and it's the top of the order. Kelly Johnson, Yunel Escobar, and Chipper Jones due up for the Braves. Top of the 8th, and it's the top of the order for the Braves. Kelly Johnson is 1 for 4 today with a double and a run. However, Garrett Mock staying out there on the mound. We do have a couple changes here at first base. Nick Johnson going to come out. And they're going to bring in Paul LaDuca will take over at first. And at second, it will be Pete Orr. So those are the changes that they're going to make to the lineup there. Orr at second, LaDuca at first. Johnson 1 for 4 today with a double and a run scored, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 3-4, column 3, row 4, strikeout plus. On a 1-20, the 13 is in range. Struck him out. Yunel Escobar is 2 for 3 with a walk and 2 runs. And that'll be a 1-6. Column 1, row 6, strikeout. On a 1-5, that is a 5. Struck him out. And that'll put 2 away, and that'll bring up Chipper Jones. Jones, 2 for 3 with a strikeout and a run. And that'll be a 3-3. Column 3, row 3, that is a blank. And that'll be a 3-1, column 3, row 1. Double star 5, ground ball to second base, or will make the catch. Throws it over to LaDuca for the out, and that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors as the Nats retire the Braves in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Austin Kearns, Johnny Estrada, and Willie Mo Pena due up for the Nats. Austin Kearns is 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts. However, Royce Ring is done. And so we do have a new pitcher on the mound for the Braves. And they're going to go with Manny Acosta. Actually, they're going to bring in Julian Travers. We haven't seen Travers. Travers gets the call up this time. Travers will come into the game with a 3.86 ERA. 1 win and 1 loss. He's pitched 7 innings, allowed 10 hits, 7 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Taking a look here at the stats for Royce. He went 1 inning, allowed 2 strikeouts, no ERA. Austin Kearns 0 for 3 today. Kearns going to take the hit. Bottom of the 8th, the Nats are down by 2. And Kearns for 4 for Travers. That is going to be column 4, row 4. That is a blank. And that'd be a 6-4, column 6, row 4, double star 2. Ground ball to Jones. Jones will get it, throw it over to Teixeira. And that'd be out number 1. 1 away, Johnny Estrada, 0 for 2. Estrada going to take the hit. And that'll be a 3-6, column 3, row 6. Strikeout on a 1-2. The 12 is too high. And that'll be a 6-2, column 6, row 2. That'll be a base hit past the shortstop. And with that, Estrada will get on with a base hit. So they are going to call him back, and they are going to bring in Eliza Dukes will come in to pinch run here. And with that, Pena is 1 for 3, and here is the pitch. 1 out, runner on first, infield at double played up. Strategy roll is an 11. They're going to hold off on that. 4-5, column 4, row 5. That is a double question mark. Single on a 1-9. The 10, too high. And that'd be a 4-2, column 4, row 2. Ground ball to Jones. And we will check for double play when balls are hit to third base. The pivot will be second for a right-handed batter. So the ground double play rating -1 plus the 1 there. So that cancels it out. That makes it a 2. Nothing from Johnson. The die roll is a 2. It is in range. It is a 5-4-3 double play. And they turn the double play to end the inning. And with that, we do have a new catcher. And with that, it is going to be Luke. Luke Montz behind the plate there. So no runs, 1 hit, and no errors, and none left on. After 8, it's Braves 5, Nats 3. We go to the top of the 9th. It's Mark Teixeira, Brian McCunn, and Jeff Francoeur due up for the Braves. Will we see some 9th inning magic? Let's take a look at the box score real quick after 8 had been played here at Nationals Park. The Braves scored 3 runs in the first, 2 runs in the 7th. It's 5 runs on 9 hits and no errors. The the Nats scored a run in the 2 runs in the first, a run in the sixth. It's 3 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. Teixeira, McCann, 4, 5, and 6. It's the heart of the lineup. Garrett Mock, not going to take the hit here, not going to pitch. And they are going to bring in Charlie Manning. Charlie Manning going to get the call up here. Manning comes into the game with a 3.83 ERA, 1 win and 1 loss. He's pitched 4 2/3 of an inning, allowed 7 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Taking a look at the stats here for Garrett Mock. He went 1 1/3 innings, allowed 2 walks and 3 strikeouts, an ERA of nothing. No ERA. All right. Teixeira. Teixeira going to take the hit. And that'll be a 2-2. Column 2, row 2. And that'll be a walk on a 1-18. That is a 12. And that is a walk. So Teixeira will trot on down to first. Strategy rolls are turned off. And they are turned off. And here's how we know that they are turned off. We take the difference in the score. In this case, it's a 2-run game. We take that 2 and add it to the inning we're in. We're in the 9th inning. If the number you get when you add the difference of the score to the inning that we're in, if the number is greater than 10, there is no strategy. If the number is 10 or less, then you do roll for strategy. Infield at double play depth as Brian McCann will come up. He's 1 for 3 today with a walk and an RBI. And that'll be a 6-1. Column 6, row 1. Home run on a 1-6. The 14 is too high. And that'll be a 1-4. Column 1, row 4. It's a base hit to Penna. And let's take a look here for runner advancement. And it's a 6. And the lead runner is thrown out. So Teixeira, with that, Teixeira trying to get back to the base. He's thrown back out. He was thrown out on that. Brian McCann, let's see. On the 2, lead runner thrown out, but the trailing runner's BR is greater than the die roll. He advances. That is a 1. The die roll is a 2. So they'll throw him out, and that'll bring up Jeff Francoeur. Francoeur is 0 for 3 today, and he is not going to take the hit. And instead, they're going to bring in Martin Pardo. Pardo going to take the hit here. He comes into the game with a 2.5, batting a 259. And that'll be a 4-4. Column 4, row 4, double star. Fly ball back there to Harris. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 2 away. Mark Coste. Coste going to take the hit. And that'll be a 1-4. Column 1, row 4. Home run chance on a 1-19. 4 is in range. Coste needs a 3 or less. It's an 18. So we'll take a look at the die roll here. 4-4. Column 4, row 4. Double star 5. Ground ball to second base, or we'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So in right field, they are going to bring in Jason Perry. Perry will take over in right field. Coste going to come out at center. And they're going to bring in Jorge Blanco. No double switch. So Blanco will take over in center field. Perry will be in right. It's no runs, one hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Charlie Manning, Pete Orr, Christian Guzman due up. And with that, Willie Travers will be coming out of the game. And the Braves are going to go with Mike Gonzalez. They are in a safe situation here. Yep. Gonzalez is going to get the save. He's going to get the call up. Comes up. He's batting. Comes into the game with a 2.47 ERA. No wins and no losses. 3 saves. He's hit 7 1/3 of an inning. Allowed 3 hits, 11 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Taking a look here at the stats for Willie Travers. He went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, an ERA of a 3.38. Charlie Manning not going to take the hit here. Aaron Boone. Boone going to take the hit. He's batting a 238. And that'll be a 6-3, column 6, row 3. That is a blank. That's down by 2. And that'll be a 3-3, column 3, row 3, line drive up the middle to Gonzalez. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. We go to the top of the order, Pete Orr, batting a 200. Orr going to take the hit here, and that'll be a 5-4, column 5, row 4. Strikeout plus on a 1-20. That is a 5. Struck him out. And it all comes down here. The Nats down to the last out. Christian Guzman. Guzman 0 for 4. Going to take the hit. And that'll be a 5-4, column 5, row 4. Strikeout plus on a 1-11. That is a 4. Struck him out. And the Braves defeat the Braves will retire the side 1-2-3, and that's the ball game. The Atlanta Braves defeat the Washington Nationals of a final score of 5-3. Final line score coming right up. So the Atlanta Braves defeat the Washington Nationals of a final score of 5-3. The Braves, 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The Nats, 3 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. Chris Rissop will get the win. Luis Aaliyah picks up his 2nd loss of the replay. Mike Gonzalez, his 4th save. Taking a look here at the stats, Chris Rissop with the win. He went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, and 3 walks. ERA of a 2.25. Luis Aaliyah picks up his 2nd loss. He won 2/3 of an inning, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and ERA of a 7.59. Charlie Manning, the last pitcher up for the Nationals, he went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, an ERA of a 3.16. And Mike Gonzalez will get the save. He went 1 inning, had 2 strikeouts, an ERA of a 2.17. So that's going to do it for us here at Nationals Park as the Atlanta Braves go to 13-13 and the Washington Nationals will drop to 8-19. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and a thumbs up on your way through the turnstile. And remember to click that bell notification to be notified of when new videos in the 2008 replay go up. And when I go live with all of the Philadelphia Phillies games. Until then, I'm Yoko 007. We'll see you for another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. Until then, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.